Some of my videos, some of my vlogs talk about the books I've written, and so I am a published writer. I've published. It's self-published, but not vanity published. There's a difference because a lot of times when people think of self-published, they think, well, you're paying to get your book in print. Well, that's not what self-published. That's vanity publishing. When you pay to get your book in print. I don't have any hard copies because I would have to pay to get hard copies, but it's free setup. I found a few places it's free setup, so I've actually published, and I've only sold a few copies. Because I haven't been able to afford to buy an inventory, so I don't have an inventory in my books. So I've only sold a few copies. But I got my first royalty check last week, $6.99. Not very much, but and it covers like 6 months. I have not sold very much on my books, very many. That's just because I haven't been promoting them big time, I guess. But what I have published so far are nonfiction. It's me rambling, basically. It's like a really long vlog written down. I just write different stories, reflections, stuff like that, in a couple of books, and they're not hugely popular. They could be because I've heard I'm a pretty funny guy. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm a pretty funny guy, and my writing is not bad. So I'm like, I want to write more of that kind of stuff. Not really highly motivated anyway, but that's what I say. I want to write more. And about now it's almost 4 weeks ago. Well, it is 4 weeks tomorrow because it was on the 15th or the. So 4 weeks tomorrow marks, 4 weeks ago tomorrow, my wife gave me a challenge. She said, it's great that you're writing these autobiographical books, but your money is in your globic tales. Now I'll tell you what globic tales was. Globic tales is this series that has been in my head for over 20 years. I've told her stories multiple times. I've started writing the book and just put it down, start writing again, put it down, start writing again, put it down, off and on for a long time. I used to draw pictures of characters that I thought were really cool and wrote short stories with them, and I was just like, but I've never been published. And Globic Tales have never been published anywhere. She said, that's where your money is, because she's read a little bit of my writing. She says, you're a good writer, and that's where your money is. And so she gave me this challenge, and I actually fulfilled the first 2 weeks. First, it was 50 pages. Write 50 pages in 2 weeks. And I fulfilled it. And then she said, now write 70 pages in the next 2 weeks. And I haven't. I was really disciplined for the first 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks, I have not been very disciplined. I have not written very much, but where it comes from. Okay, now the reason why I'm vlogging this is because you can make a business out of one title, easy. And usually, I traditionally thought it was nonfiction work only, but this fiction work can become a title, it can become a business, can be a moneymaker, because it leads to can lead to speaking engagements, endorsements, writing articles, because you become an expert on your subject. I mean, people like, someone will quote so-and-so, the author of blah, 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 because they know about the subject matter. And that's true for science fiction-y works. My work, Globic Tales, is science fiction-y, but it's not hard science. That's what I think about it, because I delve a little bit into time travel, talk a little bit about space travel, but not very much. I'm not really hard into science. I got some theories in there. It qualifies in the genre of science fiction, but it's not hard science. yeah, even later later in the book when I talk about time travel, I'm using the theories, but I'm basing it on stuff I've read, and it's not really hard science. I mean, even the robots are not present. I don't have robots in all of my books. I have a little bit of genetic manipulation later. I talk about that kind of thing, but I don't have robots. I don't have aliens. I have non-human races. There are a few non-human races, but they're not aliens, and it's not about outer space. There aren't phasers. Pew 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 pew. So it's not your typical science fiction. It's like I said, that it's softer science. I've got the social sciences. I talk a little bit about racism, about parenting, about adoption, about demographics, revolution. Some of the social sciences, but it's the stories. There's a spiritual spin on the bottom, which spiritual means it could become fantasy, but I don't use magic, so it doesn't qualify as fantasy either. That's why it qualifies as science fiction, but there's not much science to it. That's globic tales, and I'm gonna go in and do some more writing right now. But actually, a book, globic tales book, the first book. I'm gonna do ebooks until I can't afford to build an inventory and actually get the books printed. My first ebook in globic tales, I've deadlined for January 1st. Because I've been working a lot on actually getting it written, get the ideas flowing out of my head, because they've been stuck in my head for years. So my ebook for the first globic tales, Jordian Knights, will be out January